Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. I'm James Salvatore, and this is the 2022 BMW 540. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over some of the features, going to talk about how practical it is, and then most importantly, is it fun to drive? So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. As you can see below, I do lots of fun stuff on the channel, and if you're a car enthusiast, you won't want to miss out. With that said, let's get into the video. Refreshed for last year, the 2022 BMW 540i has many new features, making it a worthy upgrade if you're coming out of a lease or a new purchase option. It features a 3-liter twin turbocharged inline 6-cylinder with a 48-volt mild hybrid system that produces 335 horsepower and 331 foot-pounds of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic torque converter transmission. It'll do 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It gets 22 miles per gallon in the city and 29 on the highway. In the rear, you have 18.7 cubic feet of cargo storage with the ability to put down the second row of seats for more. And when it comes to tech, you can see that you have a nicely laid out digital gauge cluster. If you hit the button on the stalk to the left here, you could cycle through a few different things to display. There isn't much customization, but I also don't mind that because it's just laid out so clean and so straight to the point that you don't really need it, in my opinion. And you always have the map displayed here in the center, which is nicely kind of faded in there. And you can see the infotainment system is really nicely laid out. This is the home screen. You get a 12.3-inch screen, really nice and big, really easy and clear to read, nice high resolution screen. You can see here, this is the stock software. You zoom in and out, and the graphics are very quick to load. You can see they put a nice processor in here. Hit the home button. You have all the vehicle functions, settings, and whatnot here. We're not going to really go through those, but you can see that it's very straightforward and easy. And you can also control everything via the rotary wheel / touchpad down here, which I appreciate because some people will prefer that. Now, one thing that I'd like to highlight is the smartphone integration in this car. It really truly is next level. So you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as you can see. I have an iPhone, so I'm going to demonstrate Apple CarPlay. So you have your phone, you can put it down here, goes right on the wireless charging pad, and then go right into it, and you can see, look how nicely this is rendered. Completely lag-free wireless experience. Definitely an improvement from like years past. Say if you're coming out of a lease from like a 2019, 18, 2020, you know, they've definitely upgraded things here. You can see everything just is so quick and snappy to respond. Where I feel that BMW really took this integration further was usually, like, say if you have a destination and yeah, you'll see it on the screen there and you'll hear the voice directions, but you won't see it on your heads-up display or in the gauge cluster. And as you could see, I don't know if you could see the heads-up display, you could see that directions from CarPlay are displayed in all 3 areas. Another thing I really love about this design is they have kept things simple. You still have physical knobs for, say, your volume, and your climate controls are very simple and easy to use. And in the back, I think they've done a pretty good job. I'm 6'1", you can see that I have plenty of knee room, and headroom is pretty good as well. No complaints there. Driving the 540 around town, it's exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's really comfortable, it's really smooth, really refined, and everything in here really does feel up to the task. Like in terms of build quality, all the materials used within the cabin definitely fit the $70,000 price tag that they're asking for. Even though this has, say, their faux leather, they've done this nice diamond stitch design on the seats, and it actually does have a nice feel to it. Certain vegan leathers or faux leathers have this like plasticky cheap feeling, and you definitely don't get that in this. All the panels are nicely put together. You know, you push on the panels and you don't hear anything creak, groan, or squeak, which you actually find in a lot of new cars, believe it or not. So in that aspect, build quality definitely on point. I'm very happy with that. Now, in terms of the driving experience, in comfort mode, it's smooth. Like I said, the throttle calibration is done very well. It's not jumpy off the line. If you add a little bit of throttle, you know, getting going in some cars, you get that like jumpy, like lurchiness. You definitely don't get that here. And the start-stop technology is seamless. It's not too intrusive, in my opinion. And I like that, you know, looking around the vehicle, I really do have good visibility in this. You know, looking out the rear, I can see everything I feel I need to see. You have nice visibility over the hood. You feel like you're looking down on the road. A little bit of a blind spot over the shoulder, but you do have the assistance features. So, you know, definitely not bad there. And I know we already talked about tech, but I like that everything is so big and clear and right in front of me. There's no second guessing, you know, what I'm looking at. If I'm going for something on the infotainment screen, everything's nice and big and clear and easy to read, which you don't really think about when you're, say, testing a car, but it's really a thing. You know, sometimes everything's so small or there's so many menus to go through on the infotainment system that it could be really distracting. BMW's software is really straightforward and to the point, which I appreciate. And I'd say they found the right balance with the suspension in this car. For the weight and for the size of the vehicle, there's very, very little body roll. You know, it's barely noticeable. But, you know, going over a bumpy road, everything still feels, you know, soft and supple. It's not, you know, beating you up. It's not too stiff. So I think they found a nice balance there. Now, if you're somebody who's coming out of, say, a 2018 or 2019 leased 540, and you're thinking to yourselves, oh, well, it's just a facelift, should I get it? I would say yes. They've changed enough in this where if you're coming from a pre-facelift car, you'll definitely feel like there's a difference between them. Power-wise, power plant, you know, engine-wise, I wouldn't say you're really going to notice a difference, but the updates with the tech and exterior looks overall, I would say are worth the upgrade. So I guess the only question left to answer is it fun? Because this is a BMW. It's supposed to be. So, sport mode on a back road, nice and windy. How does it handle? Well, very, very minimal body roll. It handles really nice and flat. It really doesn't feel as heavy as it is, which is a really good thing. Putting it over into manual mode, this has the ZF 8-speed transmission. It's not a dual clutch transmission. It is a torque converter transmission. However, it is really responsive. I mean, just on this back road here, this really is a lot of fun to drive. You have plenty of brakes. So, I mean, in terms of, you know, spirited driving, this is definitely a car that you will enjoy yourself in. It's not going to be that big, heavy, mid-sized luxury car that, you know, looks nice, but really isn't all that fun to drive. This is properly satisfying to drive on a back road. So to sum up my thoughts on the 540, I would say after having one in the household and, you know, driving the facelifted version of it, you know, and really having a lot of seat time in one of these, they really are a great package overall. Practicality wise, you know, for the segment, you have plenty of room. You could fit 5 people in the car comfortably. You have plenty of room in the trunk. You can put down the rear seats and have even more if you need it. And with the facelift last year, the tech really is there at this point. I mean, like I said earlier, smartphone integration is some of the best I've seen, period, on the market for 2022. And, you know, everything's just so clear and easy to read, and it just works. There's no hassle. There's no figuring things out. It's just straightforward, right to the point. And you get great gas mileage, and from a standpoint of, you know, being able to have fun going on spirited drives on back roads and whatnot, you will have a good time in this car because it handles nicely. It's not some big boat that rolls into all the corners. That's not what you get with this. This thing really is confident on the road. And you get great gas mileage to boot. So, I mean, there's really no complaints there. I think with this platform, especially with the facelift, they really have checked all the boxes, and there really isn't much negative to say on this car. That sums up things on the 540. If you enjoyed the video and you forgot to do so, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on next week's video. Before I go, I'd like to thank my friends down at BMW Greenwich Connecticut for providing today's car. They're an awesome, super helpful, friendly group of people to work with. And if you're in the market for a new BMW and you're in the area, you should definitely check them out. I'm going to leave their contact information in the description below so you can do so. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.